So in thinking about inviting YouTubers here, people with their own channel, I wonder like who those people are. And I have been, subscribing to channels that I like. A lot of those people are doing their own thing. Some of them are homesteaders or living off grid. So they're where they're at. They've already got their home. But if you think you would like to be a very successful YouTuber with support, with sets available, with green screens and lighting, and living with really cool people, and some of whom we could recruit to be on your channel. Talking head channels I'm less interested in, although this is kind of a walking head channel, I guess. Talking head means it's just a person talking to the camera. Less interesting. I'd rather have channels that are doing more interesting experiments and potentially inviting people who are compatible with the culture of the general space, but also are very interested in that particular channel. So if you are a moderately successful or want to be a very successful YouTuber, then you could come here. We could build your channel up. You could be making money off of it with support systems. So let me know if you're one of those, and I'll be contacting some of the channels I like directly and saying, hey, are you crazy enough to want to live in the middle of the woods with a bunch of other people? Not very many to start with, but I want to have a base team of 6 people, build that to 12, then, fix up a bunch of spaces, build it up to 24. All of a sudden you've got a healthy system, and everything becomes easier. There's a food system in place. You can have a very simple life in some ways, because a lot of systems can be in place that make your life easy and simple and fulfilled and less distracting than in the city, and healthier. So I don't know, are there channels you would recommend of people? I look at van lifers and stuff, and they're mobile by definition, and they've got their own house they travel with. So I could easily set up places where they can park their van, have a roof next to it, so they can get out of their van, even if it's rainy and windy and stuff, not be in the sun. Maybe have a little outdoor kitchen for them there, have a fire pit and a composting toilet so they don't overload whatever system they have in their vehicle. There's all kinds of YouTubers I think are very inspiring and impressive. And like there's one woman, I don't know if she'd want to come here, but I've been watching her for years. And she's a musician, which is cool. She has good values. She seems really smart. She's young-ish, probably in her late 20s is my guess. Maybe early 30s, I'm not sure. I can't tell the ages of people very well. But I might suggest to her, hey, do you want to come down? Because we briefly talked about that, but we also then talked about my road being really bad. Well, the road is better now, and if she doesn't need to be driving in and out all the time, then she just needs to get in and then have a good space to be in, and then do her music, publish her music online, which she already does. So she's already compatible in that sense. She's doing something artistic and cool. And she sings as well. She writes her lyrics. And I believe she plays a guitar. And that would help me invite other musicians down then as well. And she could be performing for the world. She already performs at places she is. I've seen videos of her on stage singing her songs. I think of makers and people like that would be potentially compatible. Lots of people with successful YouTube channels could be compatible here, and maybe only 1% of them would want to live here, but that's enough. There's a lot of people in the world, so I've got to pick them carefully, make sure they're not a problem. I don't think she would be, just based on my impression of her online. She produces a lot of stuff, she writes stuff, and so I don't know. I mean, if you could invite any YouTubers or content producers to live on your land, your fictional forest, or maybe you have a real one, who would you invite? I can think of authors I would want to invite, and they'd have a beautiful space to write, nice quiet spot. I could have connectivity. I don't know who else. I like comedy. We could invite a bunch of comedians, and their primary audience would be out in the virtual world. And maybe part of the year they travel and do shows, and part of the year they're here. Now, I don't know if I want to do part-time people as much, but there are people who want to be where they're at for half the year, and the other half of the year they might want to be here. So I have a lot of options. Who do you suggest? Who do you follow that might be compatible and that you would want to invite and that maybe I should invite to here? You're really cool.